Good morning, welcome to Planet Mojo. Today I'm going to show you how to make homemade brush killer that kills blackberries for good. I sprayed this stuff yesterday with some of my homemade brush killer, and unfortunately you're not going to be able to see it die all the way. But this right here, this is blackberry that I sprayed, maybe 2 weeks ago, and then all this new stuff popped up around it. The reason for that is this stuff spreads by rhizomes. It's like an underground root that'll go and pop up someplace else. And if you kill the plant here, it's still going to have that root that's still alive that'll pop up somewhere else. The mixture that I'm going to make up for you today will kill that root or rhizome as well and get rid of these completely. The reason I sprayed these the first time is so that they would die back and have to reshoot from the ground instead of getting 4 or 5 feet tall by the time I could get to them. I couldn't get one of the ingredients for the brush killer, so that was the best I could do at the time. Yesterday I mixed up a batch and came in here and sprayed this stuff. Now it's going to die and it's not going to come back. You can even spray this on little trees and poison ivy and stuff like that. It will kill just about anything dead except for grass. It will not kill grass. And that's exactly what I need in this area because I'm restoring a prairie right here. You can see right here, this was sprayed with that same spray and it got all over this grass, obviously, and it did nothing to the grass. Yeah, you could see the same thing pretty much everywhere else. The grass is doing just fine and this blackberry is dying. The mixture that I'm going to show you how to make, if you only have a little area, you can just buy it right at the big box store. It's like brush killer or poison ivy killer. That should be just about the same thing or exactly the same thing. If you're restoring a prairie like I am, or have a big area to spray like a pasture, you're going to want to mix it up yourself like I'm going to show you right now. First thing we're going to do is fill the container a little less than halfway, because when I add the ingredients, some always gets on the rim and I like to wash them into there before I mix it. This has to be mixed several times during the process, so if you fill it too high, you're going to end up getting to the top before you get it all the way mixed up. Alright, so we're going to fill it, right up to that line or so. Okay, this is a 2-gallon container, and I want to add 1 tablespoon per gallon, so 2 tablespoons of non-ionic surfactant. I'm just going to eyeball this. That should do it. And once the surfactant is in there, I want to shake this up good because the next ingredient is oil-based, and the surfactant is going to help disperse it in the water. Okay, now the next ingredient, trichoplur, is 5 tablespoons to the gallon, so double that and you get 5 ounces for 2 gallons. 5 ounces of trichoplur. Put the cover back on. And get this rinsed off a little bit. And shake it up again. When I shake this, I generally count to 20, so it's about 40 shakes. You can do whatever you want, but just make sure it's shaken up well. Okay. I could add lawn food, which is basically just a high nitrogen, water-soluble fertilizer, if I wanted to do a weed and feed, but it's early summer, it's 2 days into summer, and I do not want to do any feeding right now, so I'm going to forego this stuff. And the next ingredient is 2,4-D. The 2,4-D is 8 tablespoons per gallon, so it would be 8 ounces for the 2 gallons. All right, I'm going to rinse this into here first, and then I'm going to shake this up again. Okay, I probably could have added the dye before the last shake, but we're going to add it now. You need about 2 tablespoons of dye if you're going to add dye. You do not need to add dye, but if you want to see where you sprayed, it's a good idea to do so. Gotta rinse that in. Okay, last shake, and then we'll fill it up to 2 gallons. This mixture is a lot like oil and vinegar dressing. It'll separate if you let it sit too long. So once you get this mixed up, you should shake it every once in a while you're spraying it. Alright, now to fill it up to 2 gallons, and we'll get spraying. And one last shake, and we're ready to go. Ta-da! This area that I'm spraying was partially wooded until fall of last year. So there's a lot of woodland plants in here. All of this stuff has to die back, and it's going to get established grasses in it. Then I'll come back and plant, if I need to, the broadleaf stuff that'll grow in this area. The woodland stuff is going to die back regardless. It's not going to be able to live in this open stuff. This right here is a tree. This should kill the tree as well, at least when it's small like that. So I'm going to be doing this for a bit, 2 gallons worth, and I will get back to you way over there where I'm going to finish up. Okay, I'm all done spraying. Now we'll go take a look at where I sprayed. I wound up right there, but I started spraying right in here, and for the most part I got the entire upper area through here, up by those bushes over there, and then I went around all the way up to the fence and got everything back in there. There was hundreds of blackberry bushes through here. So tomorrow I'll come back and show you this. I also sprayed a couple of the trees, but there's a much easier way to get rid of trees with Tordon, and I'll be doing that in a future video. I'm going to take out all these little trees through here and Tordonize the little stumps, and this area should remain clear for a long time. Alright, that's it for today. I will see you tomorrow. Okay, it's been 4 days since I sprayed all this stuff, and 5 days since I sprayed all this stuff. This was sprayed 4 days ago, and there's no resprouts down there. Take a look over here. Yeah, I waited 4 days because between this and that, you'll be able to see if there's any resprouts. No resprouts at all here. This is all just dead. Take a closer look. Trees are a little bit more difficult, but I do believe this is going to die. What I usually do is cut these near the ground and put a drop of Torton on the trunk, and that makes sure that it never comes back. And I'll be doing that anyways, but I do believe these are gone for good. This one looks a little healthier than that one, that's for damn sure. Okay. This is the patch of brambles here. Once I get all of the native grasses established here and the native wildflowers and stuff, I'll let the brambles come back wherever they want to, but I can't let them take over while I'm working in here. Like, I got to get in here and cut up all this stuff, and I'm not going to be walking through brambles the whole time. All right, let's go take a look at the stuff that was done 5 days ago, see if we got any resprouting there, and then I'll wrap this video up. All right, I haven't done much in this area. This is going to be the area of major focus later on this summer, but I have done this entire part here. This area was planted in native grasses, and you can see like that's big blue stem right there and little blue stem right there. And this is the patch of blackberries. No resprouting at all, and all of them are wilted up. They're going to turn brown and basically just turn to dust and disappear, and the grasses will take over this spot. And like I said before, at some point I'm just going to let it naturalize and let grow whatever wants to grow there. But you can't start out that way, otherwise this entire area would be blackberries and common milkweed. Yeah, that works really well. Big blue stem here as well, I believe. This, I believe that's Canadian rye. Can't tell you for sure, but it looks like it. Yeah, it is. All right, here's another blackberry patch, and it's completely dead, no resprouting. Here is Twilight Zone, that's little blue stem. That's going to get, well, the base of it will get nearly as big as what's mulched there, and the main plant will get about 3 feet tall, but the seed shoots will go up to maybe 6 feet. There's another one there. Something dug it up. No idea why, but something dug it up, and I replanted it and watered it, and it appears to be doing fine. Okay, that's going to wrap it up. You can see this huge patch. This starts here, works its way through there, and goes all the way over by that birch over there. And I don't see any resprouting here. And basically, if you spray it with something else like straight 2,4-D, this will just resprout. It'll do this same thing, but within a few days, it'll just start resprouting. This is completely dead. There's the bottle of Torton right there. I'll show you that in just a second. If you're new to the channel, I'm restoring an Oak Savanna here. All this underbrush is being taken out, and these big, massive oak trees are going to be left behind. So it'll kind of look like a park with tall grasses underneath. It's a very endangered ecosystem, and I'm going to do my best to restore at least this chunk of it right here. A future project that is coming up pretty soon. This is a gray water catchment pond. It washed out right after I built it because I didn't have time to put in an overflow drain. I'll be putting in an overflow drain in this and putting some steps in right here so I can get down into it and nothing grows on that. And I'm going to be planting cattail in the bottom. I already have a wet area native grass growing on the sides, and I'll be planting a bit more of that as well. All right, we'll show you this real quick and sign off. If you want to make sure your trees or bushes or basically anything you cut down, if you want to make sure that it doesn't grow back, you use this Torton RTU, which means ready to use. It has a nice little pop top spigot, kind of like a soap bottle. And what you do, just shake it up. Once you cut your tree down, within, I believe it's 20 minutes, you got to do it right away. You just put a little bit of this around the edge of the stump. If it's a tiny little stump, you're going to cover the whole thing. But if you have a big tree, just around the outside edge, you just dribble this on the outside edge, and it will not resprout. It'll kill the roots. Good stuff right here. So if you want to see me actually using this in that area, or putting in the overflow drain on the catchment pond, make sure you subscribe and click on the update icon. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you put them in the comment section below. And if you share the video and or give it a like, it helps the channel out greatly. Thanks for watching and have a great day.